All right, y'all. Today we're talking about classes. Classes are a very vital part of character creation in my tabletop game, Your World, which is live on Kickstarter right now. We're at 75%, guys. I think by the end of this week, guys, we can actually hit 100%. So please, if you're looking for a new tabletop game, or you just enjoy supporting, new game developers, or you're just trying out new tabletop games, this one I believe is for you. It allows epic customization and very epic battles and all that sort of stuff. So if that's something that interests you, please check out the Kickstarter, which will be in the bio or maybe even in the description. With that, guys, let's get into it. All right, guys. So in my game, Your World, classes are probably the biggest part of your character. They're basically going to determine what your character's abilities are for the most part, whether it's in combat or out of combat. Are they a damage dealer? Are they a healer? Do they like to buff or debuff? Are they like an up close combatant or a range combatant? All that sort of stuff and more. But also, what it'll determine is how does your character's powers manifest. Meaning that everybody in this world has this energy, right? And that energy can manifest as either mana or focus, or even both in some cases. And we're gonna get more into this later, but basically, mana is essentially like magic in the sense that it affects the world around you, right? It lets the druid manipulate or create water and fire and all that sort of stuff. Whereas focus is more about affecting your own body, so maybe increasing your senses or your physical strength or your speed or resilience and things like that, right? But it all comes from the same source. So when you're choosing your class, you're going to have either one or both of these sources. In the case of the warrior, you only have focus. The druid only has mana, but the hunter has both. That's why the hunter will have things that they can do kind of outside of themselves, like creating little like ceiling trees to kind of like bind an enemy, or even just enhancing their senses, right? The warrior, on the other hand, can really only empower themselves in different creative ways, right? All that to say, that's one thing that will be determined by your class. Other than that, you're going to have specific arts, which are like your anime techniques that are based in your class. And as you choose more things like your subclasses and stuff like that, you're going to get even more kind of niches of what your class can do arts wise, which again is like your techniques. Other than that, there's all sorts of different things. Like if you're like a druid, you're doing all kinds of elemental damage. You're an expert at the elemental damage types, and your subclasses will push that even further from going to like fire to lava, or from earth like diamonds and other sort of unbreakable gems and things like that. Or a warrior, you might be a warrior, and then you'll go into subclasses and be like more like a samurai or more like a brute, and kind of use like your rage to fight, kind of like the Hulk or other sort of angry characters. But yeah, so classes are way too big of a concept to really get into right now. The goal of the class is that is like the majority of what builds your character out, the majority of your powers, and everything else just kind of adds either like just straight vertically or even just kind of adds to your character's portfolio of abilities, horizontally as well. But yeah, classes are really cool, guys. Right now we have 3 of them in the game. The ones I mentioned, the warrior, the hunter, and the druid, which are kind of meant to just show all 3 sort of lanes of class, which is completely like non-magical to kind of like half magical, half non, to fully magical characters. And these 3 are kind of the damage dealers of all the ones I kind of have planned. They're the ones that will be cranking out the most damage. So if you're thinking like, wow, these guys can put up some crazy numbers, that is largely by design. At the same time, we're still early in the playtest. But yeah, with that, guys, this one went a little bit longer than most of the other ones. The classes are a bigger concept. I barely even scraped the surface of them because there's so many things that go into them. But as the videos go on, I'm going to break down different parts of them. So kind of just think of this as a preliminary one. But if you have not supported the Kickstarter, like I said before, please, please, please support. I appreciate it so much, guys. Like I said, we're at 75%. And it honestly, just that much has blown me away, how much support you guys have given me so far. And even if you don't feel like, oh, I'm in a position to support it financially, just sharing it with people who that like to try out new tabletop games or board games, stuff like that, it goes a long ways, guys. It goes a really long ways. Also, we have a playtest. If you go to the Kickstarter page, you can actually click, and they'll take you to a Google Drive folder that has the playtest for the game, as well as character sheets. I even make character sheets, so you guys can actually make out your characters and go on adventures with them. Yeah, I'm really busy trying to make sure this is the best experience you guys can have possible. So yeah, I appreciate all the help, guys. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.